Alright, what's going on, guys? Trey back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be talking about Game of Thrones Season 2, Episode 4, Garden of Bones. So I apologize for not getting this video review up last night. Had some things to take care of, boyfriend duties. You guys know how it is, so I had to, plus there was UFC on Saturday, so I wasn't able to, I had to, do a bunch of videos before work that day. So then Sunday I had to take care of some other things. Didn't have time to watch the episode until today. So, but it was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. So let's take it from the top. As always, we start off the episode and pretty good intro, good opening. We get to see two guys from Lannister's army, Tywin's army, and they're pretty much just chilling there. And then we get to see the dire wolf or wolves, I should say, attack, which I thought was pretty cool. Now it's unclear to me if there was like a whole army of them. I mean, after that they cut to the scene with Joffrey and the old King's Squire, what's his name, Cersei's lapdog there. He says that pretty much Robb Stark is like an army of wolves. So, it's some kind of sorcery or something. So that was pretty cool to see. Now, whether or not he actually does have that or not, is kind of open to interpretation. I mean, we usually get to see like one, maybe a few of them, but a whole army, like, how many would he have? Like, it's kind of hard to say, but I think it's kind of cool now that we're getting to see some sorcery work its way into the show, because up until now, there really hasn't been hardly any in terms of the battles and that kind of stuff and what's going on around King's Landing. We did get to see a little bit of sorcery at the Wall with the White Walkers and the undead being risen up and trying to kill people, that kind of stuff. But other than that, now we're actually getting to see some real like sorcery that can actually do some damage. I don't know if you want to consider the direwolf sorcery, but that's one thing. And then, of course, at the end of the episode, we'll get to that in a bit. That was pretty cool. Then we get to see Harrenhal. I thought they were going to bring Arya to King's Landing, but I guess they brought her there because they didn't really know who she was, really. They thought they were after Gendry, and they thought they killed Gendry, and then they end up just bringing the rest to Harrenhal because they don't know that they've actually got anything important there. Really cool scene was when we get to see Tywin Lannister rolled in on his horse, and he's just kind of like, he's got that cool ass armor on and stuff. In the one hand, he's got like the black thing that comes up, and that was really cool. And then he's able to tell right away that that Arya is a girl, and then he takes her in as his cupbearer. So that's pretty interesting. Can't wait to see what happens with that. I like the scenes where they kind of show her like looking at, particular type, like that guy's sword, but more like a rapier, and not like a broadsword, but the thin sword, like needle. And that was kind of cool. So kind of maybe some foreshadowing that she may try to assassinate Tywin, which would be really cool. If you guys haven't seen my videos before, I have not read the books, and I'm trying not to, trying to watch the show fresh so that I get clean responses to everything from my reviews, and it's more exciting this way, I think, than to read it, to actually see it, because it's such an amazing show. The visuals are so awesome, and the actors portray the parts so well. I think the actor who plays Tywin does a really good job. Arya too, really interesting. So can't wait to see what will happen with that. Nice to see her get out of that little tight spot that she was in there, sort of just like a prisoner. I think it's funny that so many people didn't realize that it was a girl dressed up as a boy, and Tywin walks in right away. He's like, "That's a girl," you idiot, type thing. So that was funny. So how many battles has it been now? Is that 4 battles that Robb Stark has won? He just seems to be tearing these guys apart, like attacking in the night. That kind of stuff with the wolves, very cool. Once again, as I mentioned in the last couple episodes, I know I've said this a few times, want to see some actual battles taking place. They show us the beginning, and then they cut to the end of the battle. The smoke clears, and then we see what happens. Again, TV budget, got to keep the budget down, so we don't actually get to see any big battles. But I really want to see some, some big, like maybe dozens of men on dozens of men. It doesn't have to be thousands, but at least have like some scenes with them in it, and not just start of battle, cut, end of battle. I want to see some actual stuff going down. I understand it'd be tough to do the wolf part, but you could do like for example this episode here. They do the wolf scene where the wolf comes in and bites him. But then, after that, maybe show some clips from after the chant. The chant was cool, by the way, King of the North, and then they cut to the black screen. Have them, march in and just like smash up a couple guys or something, and have some wolves, like CG wolves, running at the base, like just something like that. A little bit more with the battles. I think it would just go a long way, in my opinion, rather than just showing the start and then cutting to the end of it. I know it's TV budget, so it's expensive to do those kinds of things, but I'm sure by the end of the season we'll get to see some of that as we get closer to the finale and some of the better episodes, probably around 7, 8, 9, 10. Um, you know, those episodes we'll start to see some more stuff. Seeing as how this is only the fourth one, I can understand that they're just trying to build up to, you know, what's going to happen at the end of the season, which should be very, very exciting. Man, the scenes with Joffrey, dude, like there is not one scene. He does not have one redeeming quality. Like there's not one scene that he is in that can make you, you know, respect the character or care about the character or see it from his point of view. He's just seen as like this spoiled, pompous, arrogant little prick that always just fucking, whoops, F-bomb, always just, you know, it's either torturing people, like, it's like he just loves to see people in pain, you know, he just loves it. And but it's not like he's going out in the battlefield and going, you know, and joining the troops that are fighting against the North. He's just, you know, he's sitting there and he just loves to see people getting tortured, you know. So the scene with him and Sansa, I was just like, I was thinking to myself, like, man, that's horrible. And we see Tyrion walk in, and once again, Tyrion's just cool, one of the coolest characters in the whole show, talking some sense into Joffrey and let him know, like, what the hell are you doing, you know? Because I think Tyrion knows that. Yes, for now they're okay there, but sooner or later, you know, King's Landing is going to be a battlefield itself. You know, you're going to either it's going to be Robb Stark and the North are going to get there eventually and lay siege to it, or maybe Renly or Stannis. You know, somebody's going to get there and going to get them. You know, it's just a matter of time. So I think he's just trying to kind of sort of like, well, first of all, he's just being empathetic towards Sansa, and he realizes that Joffrey's a monster, and he's trying to let him know just because you're a king doesn't mean you can act like this. You know, you have to have you know, you got to have some compassion for people. You got to treat people with some respect. You can't be doing this to people. And I think he also knows too, if he gets on their on the Stark's good side, and then Robb Stark you know, basically comes all the way to King's Landing, then maybe he can, you know, he can survive the whole situation. Maybe they'll let him live and kill off, you know, all the other Lannisters, but allow him to be the one that they, you know, they let live, pretty much. So, and then, and then Bronn's quote, "There's no cure for being a cunt." I like that whole that whole scene with him and talking about, you know, and then their plan to send prostitutes in there. That was just funny. The whole thing was funny. It was a funny idea. It was funny to watch it play out. And then once again, Joffrey just ruins the whole mood. You know, instead of just saying, "Get out," no, this is not cool. I'm not down with this. Get out, both of you. He makes them torture them, and then, you know, try to send a message back to Tyrion. Like, he's just such an evil character, man. Can't wait to see him get it. Yeah, he's just so sick, such a sick character. And then we get to see Lord Baelish return Ned Stark's bones, which was pretty decent. I thought that was all good. I like Renly, how he pretty much just stated it, that he didn't, like, right to Lord Baelish, he didn't like him. And he doesn't like him, and he knows that he pretty much had something to do with Ned Stark's death, if not, you know, is half responsible for it, at least. So that was all cool. The scene with him and Kat was decent. Be interesting to see what happens with possibly her trying to get her daughters back, even though they only have one, really. The other, they don't even know that it's her, at least not yet. And you know, so we'll see if she does anything with that. I don't think she probably will, but we'll see what happens with that. So I think Renly's a cool character. I like the scene with him and Stannis, where they're standing there kind of talking to each other. Thought that was a cool scene. Melisandre there and stuff. And man, let's talk about the ending. So how weird was that? Like, just such a weird ending. You know, it just came out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden, you know, she gives birth to like this. I don't know if you want to call it like shadow demon type thing. I don't know what you want to call it at all, and what it's going to be able to do. You know, I mean, obviously, you probably can't kill the damn thing, so, you know, we'll see what happens with that. That'll be exciting and interesting to see. You know, what happens between the battle between the brothers. I want Stannis to win. I don't know if he's going to, but I'd like to see Stannis win. I think that would be pretty cool, a lot of fun. Renly's a good guy and everything, but I like Stannis. I think Stannis is a really cool character. Melisandre's cool too, and anytime we get to see, you know, like sorcery and that kind of stuff, I'm down for all that. I think all that's really interesting and a lot of fun. Let's see, is there anything else happening in this episode? I think Stannis will probably win, but don't spoil it for me, guys. Comments. If you've read the books, please don't spoil shit for me. So yeah, now Arya is going to be the cupbearer for Tywin. That'll be cool. You know, I'd like to see her assassinate him, or at least try to, or something, or maybe them figure out who she is. She's been doing well on her own right now. You'd almost think that when she was with the guys that were headed to the Night's Watch, maybe she'd have been better off just at night, just sneaking off and just going off on her own and try to make her way back to Winterfell on her own. But you know, it's kind of hard to say, because who knows if she could survive in the woods and like hunt and stuff, and we don't know to what capacity she has in terms of her ability to survive on her own. She's still pretty young, so, and that's not an easy thing to do either. You know, she's probably far away, but she might have been better off trying to fend for herself. We'll see how it is with her at the side of Tywin. So overall, I thought this was a fun episode. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. The ending was really weird and made me feel like uncomfortable, but at the same time was cool. The beginning was good. Got to see some Robb Stark scenes. Oh yeah, that's the part with him talking to the girl. So he's talking to the girl, Talissa. That's right, Talissa or Talissa. And she pretty much gives him a piece of her mind, blaming him, so to speak. But you got to understand, like, he tried to be diplomatic with the Lannisters. He told them, you know, they have to dissolve Dominion of the North. They can't be asking for tax money and shit like that anymore. It has to be separate now. And he just returned the 2 girls, and everything will be fine. And they obviously are not going to want to do that. So, you know, hey, what are you going to do, right? You know, if he just marches back up to the north, and all that's going to happen is that they're going to get attacked, and probably when they're not ready. So, you know, it's unfortunately it's not that simple as just, you know, just surrendering or just going back to you know, the north and just staying there. So yeah, I don't think that she sees it there, but maybe we'll see, if maybe we'll see more of her character and Robb kind of having some kind of conversations and stuff. So it doesn't really matter too much, but you know, sometimes you have to fight, you have to do that kind of stuff. So that's that. Good episode, 8 out of 10, like I said. Very good builder for the rest of the season. Can't wait to see the ending of the season. It was very interesting, I think, all the different things that were happening and all the different little storylines, different environments and stuff. Very cool as always. Like to see more of Tywin. Anytime we get to see him, I think he's really interesting. Same with Robb Stark. He's really cool too. Tyrion's a lot of fun always. Joffrey, can't wait to see him get killed. And the ending with Melisandre was very interesting. Can't wait to see what happens with that. Was the CG bad? It wasn't that bad. It was okay, but the whole scene was just a little uncomfortable. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought about the episode. I'll be back next week for another one. Subscribe if you haven't already. Later, guys. Peace.